Hi everyone, my name is Paola. I'm from Berlusco, so I'm Italian, but I live in Iraq, where I work as well. It's been 3 years in Iraq, but it's been since 2008 that I've been living in different countries in the Middle East, so it's more than 10 years. Currently in Iraq, I work for an Italian NGO, and we do humanitarian work. So in other words, we work with refugees and internally displaced people and help them reconstructing their lives, or we provide services for them. Refugees and internally displaced people, of course, are people who left their homes because of conflict. In this case, as you know, in Iraq, there is the problem of, there are many problems, but the recent conflict is the one that mainly was known as the conflict against ISIS, the Islamic State. For As a job, I work with projects, so I supervise projects. I supervise the quality of projects. I support the staff that works with children, and that means in my case, I work with projects that have to do with education. What triggered my choice to do this kind of life, this kind of job? There was not a single trigger, but it was a series of choices that I took throughout the years, from the choice of what to study at university to the choice of going abroad for continuing my studies. And one thing that I have to say helped me in this is that I'm always easily passionate about things, and especially new experiences, new cultures. I studied languages, and I learned Arabic, so that it was my number one passion. And for let's say, well, one thing that I would like to share with you is the I feel privileged for being able to do as a job something that I'm passionate about. One other thing that my life taught me is how to read the reality in another way, because being abroad, living in another country, helps really widening the perspectives, and it's not just a cliche. It's really true. I can give an example about it. For example, when I arrived in Iraq the first time, it was 2015, and at the time ISIS was very close to the city that I was living in, Erbil, and there was a danger that ISIS would attack the city again. And for me, I'm Italian. I have an Italian passport, and I knew that if in this case, in the case of an attack, I could just, take a flight back home, and I would be safe. At the same time, my Iraqi colleagues, they have an Iraqi passport, so in the case of an attack, they would just be stuck in the city, and they would be under bombs, under war, violence, like now, for example, in Syria. Many people in Syria are in cities where still there is war and conflict, and that made me think of how unfair the world is. And there are many things that make me think about that, but that was one specific episode that made me think. I don't have anything more than these people. Than my Iraqi colleagues. I'm just luckier because I was born with an Italian passport, and in certain countries, the passport decides for life and death. So this is not to say that the world is very bad and everything is unjust. but it's to say that, I mean, recognizing that the world is not fair at all, maybe can help people around the world, especially young people, to do something about it. And it's not necessarily going abroad or doing this job, because I don't think I do this job only for helping others. There are many reasons. I also gain a lot from it in terms of experience and inner richness.